Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Maze Vault podcast. I hope you guys aren't sick of me because I'm not going anywhere. Today, we have a very, very strong comedic couple. Jay-Z and Beyonce, move out the way. We have Christian and Maybelline from Love So Real. If you guys do not know about them, they really show that it's okay to poke fun in your relationship and have fun together. They have 5.6 million followers on TikTok. They're epic everywhere. They're on Instagram. They're on YouTube. Just check them out. Hello, Maybelline and Christian. How are you guys?
Hey, how are you?
Can we talk about that intro? That was cool.
Honestly, that came from the heart. I don't practice any of these.
Thank you. We're honored.
The energy. It's the energy I need today.
Hey, I'm so happy to have you guys on the podcast because I feel like we're social media friends, but we never got to kick it, and we always show each other so much love. But I think it's really cool to get to know each other on a deeper level, and I'm excited about it.
We're just as
Likewise.
excited.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, no problem. I remember like a few years ago, maybe like a year and a half ago, I was just like watching your video, and my favorite thing about your videos is, because I love my ladies, Maybelline's laugh. She makes everything. Sometimes it's not even about the content, it's her laugh, and then I can't even help myself from laughing. So was your laugh always like that?
Always. I have my mom's laugh. I want to say it's annoying. It's funny because every time we meet people, that's the first thing they say. They're like, move over, Christian. I love Maybelline. I love her laugh. I'm like, okay. Christian does all this work, and here I am. I'm like, it's your laugh.
Dude, I can relate because I be putting in all the work in the videos and trying mad hard, and everybody will be like, move out the way. I want to talk to your mom. I'm like, she doesn't do anything. She doesn't do anything. It's not fair. But so you guys have been a couple for a very long time. How long?
We have. So should I ask you? Or who's saying it? I'm doing the math in my head right now.
That's why I'm doing this, because it's taking her some time.
We've been together for 17 years.
17?
So going to be 17 years, October 29th.
October 29th. Our anniversary is coming up.
Yes,
Oh
and
my
married
God.
for 9 years.
Oh my God. Congratulations.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
So I have to guys, I just recently got married, so I have a lot of questions to ask you guys. Okay, so 17 years. What was the first thing that attracted you to Maybelline, Christian?
I don't think I can say those things.
Wait,
on here.
I'm glad that you gave the question to Christian, because I was not attracted to him at first.
I can explain that part.
No.
Honestly,
Wait.
there was.
Answer
Go
the
ahead.
question. Is it her heart? Was it her heart?
It was
Was
her
it her
heart.
caringness?
It was her heart.
Was it the beauty?
I mean, to be honest, like, and she knows this. Like, there was so much that attracted me to her about just her skin, the way she looked, her hair. Like, primarily, it was
Keep going.
like there was something about her, like her skin, that I was just like, yeah.
You know,
In high school, this is in high school.
This is giving me a little bit of Jeffrey Dahmer vibes. Like, what do you mean her skin?
Oh my God.
Why do we have to go there?
Skin.
No, it's like, I don't know. Most
I'm joking.
guys just other stuff, but you know what I mean. Like she was
How
just,
old were you? I'm asking all the hard
18,
questions. Okay.
17, 18,
17,
around
18.
there.
Yeah.
It was towards the end of my high school years, and I was just like, I need to have her. She got to be my girlfriend.
What?
But it wasn't easy. It wasn't that it's just like, hey, how's it going? Like, you want to talk? You want to date? It wasn't any of that. She was not interested. She wanted nothing to do with me.
Damn.
And in her words, all the girls in high school wanted to be with me, and she was like, I don't see anything in him. Like,
They-
why are they fighting and going crazy over
Fun
him?
fact, they used to call Christian in high school Pretty Boy Christian. That was like his nickname. Everybody knew him as Pretty Boy Christian. His eyes, his eyelashes were like the rave.
Oh
And I
my
was like,
god.
since everyone like wanted to be with him, I was like, I wanted to be different. I'm like, nope, I don't want to be with him. I don't want to
Yep.
be with him. So of course, it's the one that didn't want to be with him is the one that's married to him and has 2 kids with him now.
Yo, that's crazy. And you want what you don't have as well. So Christian was like, oh, she doesn't want me. It was more of a taste for him too, I'm sure.
It was
Right.
a challenge, and I was up for it, and I was determined, and I was gonna make sure that she ended up in my arms. And
Oh, okay. And then what was
Okay.
it? What was the change that made you like him?
I think just like we started hanging out after he like tried for so long. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to give him a chance. We could be friends. We could hang out as friends. So that's what we did. And the more that I hung out with him, I'm like, oh my God, we have so much in common. We're so like, we click. And it's like so easy and like just natural. And so I think that's what got me to start giving him a chance.
Why didn't you ever tell me this?
Well, we're on the Dr. Phil show now, so. But that's what us women do. I think we give guys like a little in, and then
Right.
we see what they do with that little in. Like they could either crash, and you're like, okay, I gave him a chance in your head, like he doesn't even know it's a chance,
Right.
or they could thrive like Christian and have 2 kids with you. You know what I'm saying? This is awesome. This is awesome. So, okay, so fast forward, you guys fall in love, you guys get married, 2 kids. What made you guys start on social media?
Okay, so funny. We had no social media. I think we only had Facebook, right? We each only had Facebook. You might have had like Snapchat.
Yeah, I had Snapchat.
But we were not into social media. Like social media was not important to us. And it's so crazy to say it now. But I used to get these dreams of like us recording our family. We had our 1-year-old at that time, right? She was 1. And I just kept getting these dreams and like these visions of like us having a camera in our hands and recording. And I'm like, I'm the least like social media person in this world. I hated social media. Like I didn't even care about phones, nothing. So I'm like, you know what, babe? I told him, I'm like, I keep getting these dreams. Let's get a camera and start recording. He looked at me like I was crazy. He's like, what are you talking about? You like never like to be on camera. You're the shyest person, because I'm extremely shy. So whatever. I don't know what I just kept saying it, right? And we finally went to Best Buy and we got a camera and we started like recording, just like us going out to dinner.
And I
like,
wasn't for any of
yeah,
this.
and Christian thought I was crazy the entire time. I'm like, I don't know what, something keeps telling me that we need to do this. Like, we need to do this. And so we just kept going with it. And Christian, like after a while, he was extremely shy at first. Like he wouldn't talk on camera. He was very shy.
Yeah,
And then
I always like I have like a stuttering problem, and my English is not very good looking. But you know, I try. And so she brought up the whole thing of like recording. So every time we were like, you know, put the camera and we'll start a vlog, I'm like, yeah. And I would get super red and like hot, sweaty like I am right now, you know, because I'm under the spotlight. But, you know, the more that we did it, I started getting more comfortable.
yeah.
And then I was seeing how natural she was at it, even though she wasn't a person to be, you know, on social media, period. She didn't have, you know, like she said, no Instagram or any of that. And, you know, she was just good at it. And then, you know, she speaks obviously perfect English and all that and proper, where I'm more of a Bostonian person that, you know, like, you know, I swear,
Whatever
and,
comes
like,
out,
you know, whatever
comes
comes
out.
out, comes out. Like sometimes I should, you know, think about what I'm going to say before I say it. So then, you know, with practice, you know, became more of a natural thing. It's just so every day, you know, whether the camera's on or not, I was just me and myself. And at that point I was like, you know what? You're going to be the manager. I'm going to be the creator. And then from there, I just took the camera, and I was always the guy, you know, holding the camera as we were vlogging, and hey guys, you know, what's going on? Da, da, da. And it just started from there.
And that was on YouTube. So backtrack a little bit before this. Well, since I've known you, Christian like has been the funniest person I've ever met in my entire life. But he was only funny around like family and around like people that he was comfortable with. So when we were doing this, I'm like, you know, babe, everyone needs to see this side of you, because he can walk into any room and just light up the room. He wants people laughing. He wants people feeling good. Like, that's his number one quality that I love about him. So I was like, the world needs to see this. Like, you're just so funny and like good hearted. And I feel like you're such a positive, like, light that we need to like do this, you know?
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I would have never thought that you had a stuttering problem. And my husband also, he's dyslexic, but like a lot of times you find ways to cover it up and you get yourself in uncomfortable situations. And I really admire him when I hear that, because he's like, oh, I find ways of like getting around it. And so like, did you think your stuttering problem improved because of the videos, or is it just like
yeah, because
you can say no. You can say no.
No, I would say that, you know, what really helps, to be honest, is like when I change my voice, when I try to impersonate people or do voices, like it goes away. When I'm being myself, not trying, when I'm being myself, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm under the spotlight, or I'm talking to someone new, or it all depends. And the thing is too, that I speak a lot of Spanglish. So as I'm trying to speak, I just forget about what that word that I'm trying to say. I just completely forget it, like right now. And I'm thinking about it in Spanish. I'm like, but wait, I'm speaking Spanish. I can't say it in Spanish because the person I'm speaking to may not understand. So, you know, it's just one of those. So it's like kind of like a back and forth, but I've been trying to do better and slow it down. That's the other thing. Like, you know, as Puerto Rican, we speak a little bit fast. So it's like, it comes out. And I'm like, what did you say? Can you slow it down?
It's funny because when he's like doing his comedy and stuff, I think because he's like in acting mode, he forgets, and he's like so good at it, you know, like everything just like flows.
Right.
It's funny.
But I always catch myself.
You know what is what's crazy? Like, I noticed things about me when I started recording myself. Like you said, like you're Puerto Rican, so you speak fast. I'm from New York, so I speak fast, and I don't like to talk for too long. I'm just like, get to the point. So when I started this podcast, the first episode was like, blah, 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 and then me and the girl were jumping back and forth. And like, I had family members call me, and they're like, dude, do you want to like calm down? Do you want to like chill when you're talking so that people can understand? Like, and I'm like, yeah, you know, that's a good point. But there's so many things you notice about yourself when you're on camera. But yeah, so I wanted to know, like, how is your relationship since you guys are on camera? Did it get stronger? Is it like, do you guys argue about videos that you guys do, or?
So we're not the perfect couple here.
Like Christine was like,
we're by no means perfect.
Yep.
Let's see, how do I put it? Sometimes we have our disagreements on like what we should put out on the internet, or like what we should do that specific day. Like, we're on a crunch time because on top of us being on social media, we're like parents full time. So we don't have all day to just like sit and record videos all day long. You know, we have to bathe the kids, feed the kids 3 times a day, like bring them to school and all that. So I think sometimes it's like timing wise, like we're trying to crunch in and we're like feeling a little bit overwhelmed, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. But do we argue and disagree on things?
Yeah, I mean, what relationship doesn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's totally normal. It's healthy. You know, it's good to, you know, sometimes speak your mind, express yourself. But at the end of the day, you always what you want to do is respect. You always want to keep that. You know, don't ever cross that line. But of course, you know, you want to hear the other party out and, you know, just say what you got to say.
I think with us, like, we're so good at communicating, and we've been together for, I want to say, over 10 years before we were even on social media. So like, we have a good like base of like communication, trust, respect, and all that. So like, when we are PO'd at each other, it's like we communicate through it. Say what you gotta say. I say what I have to say. All right, let's keep it moving. We don't have time to be mad at each other for more than 5 minutes.
You know, and it's like bickering. It's like, you know, little dumb things, and then it's like we just make up right after. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh my God, like I'm leaving the house, or I'm sleeping on the couch, or I'm not gonna speak to you for days. You know, it's none of that. It's just, you know, we say what we have to say, get it out, and then, you know, sometimes we may bring in things that we don't need, that is not even on a subject, but it's that opportunity. Like, I don't want to do this again. Let's not let it happen again. So let's just let it out now. And
so
then
remember the time that you
last week when you did this, and
all that laundry you left on the floor. Like, hello. You're just gonna keep walking right by it.
Yeah.
You know, like one of
But
those.
you know what? I find like the best relationships are the ones that you can laugh about your differences. Like for instance, when I'm arguing with my husband, I don't know why, just as naturally as a comedian, I always like say, "Oh yeah, yeah," and I make him laugh, and I'm like saying I'm angry, but I'm like having my message in a funny way, and then he makes fun of me, but like we're still arguing. I'm sure you guys can relate. Like it's
No,
bickering,
literally, that's
but it's
us.
like yeah, it's bickering, but it's in a funny way. And then like after 5 minutes, I was like, wow, that was a good diss. Like, and then we're laughing about it and we move on. Like it's really
Right.
quick.
Literally, like we just start arguing, and then all of a sudden, like either I can't control myself and I start laughing like I always do. We always end up laughing. It's just
Not. It's not worth the energy to just be mad at each other. You know, and that goes out to everybody in the world. You know, like it's just not worth it. You know, just
Dude, I'm telling you, I looked up to you guys when I first saw your profile because I'm like, wow, like you guys take it to another level of like being able to make fun of each other and not take it to heart. You know, there's so many people
Right.
that are like, wow, that's really how you feel. Like, or they'll laugh about it in the moment, but then they'll like fester and hold a grudge. But like you guys really like enjoy it, love laughing, and I love the outfits. It gets me.
I know a lot of people say like, how do you guys not fight after like recording like videos of impersonating of each other? I'm like, no, this is us like reliving it and like just making light of it and like showing other couples that it's okay. Like everyone goes through these things, you know, and it's not that big of a deal. Like just take it lighthearted, communicate through it, you know?
It's a type of therapy.
Right. It is. No, it is. A lot of people say like watching our videos is therapy to them. They'll like the couples will sit down at the end of the night after they put their kids to bed and just watch our videos and just relate to like the things that we do.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. And you know what? Kudos to you, Christian, because you also like when you come to dress up and you play the part, you're all in, man. You're all in.
I mean, I feel like you have to. The only thing that I don't do because I don't think it's necessary because I think it's just funnier me using my own voice. That I don't change my voice to be more of a female's voice, you know? I think when I keep it just as myself, it's just adds. I don't think I've ever been called out. Like, why don't you do more of a feminine voice since you're already all dressed and you got the wig on and all that? That's one thing that I like keeping, you know?
I didn't even think about the voice because what really like gets my attention is the facial expressions. I'm big on facial expressions. And so like the way you do Maybelline's like serious face like this, I don't even think about the voice. It's like too good.
Yeah, like his mannerisms are hilarious.
Yeah.
The way that he stands, walks, like looks, it's just funny.
I mean,
Do you ever get like backlash from like dressing up as a woman or like your guy friends make fun of you or like is it
I mean,
do you get any
in the
type of-
beginning, everyone would just say that I was crazy. They're like, I could never do what you do. Even if they paid me, I wouldn't do it. And I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. And like, you know, fun fact, like I've been doing this since I was a little kid. You know, I grew up around a family that is probably 75 to 80% all females. All my cousins are females. You know, there's probably like a handful of boys. So I would always just try to make fun of them. I would throw on their clothes and stretch it out. They would get mad. They would chase me around the house. So I was like, you know what? I would just always be, like she said, the life of the party. So like my aunts would just be rolling, laughing, probably peeing themselves and all that, you know, crying. Like everybody loved when I was just, you know, doing crazy stuff. So.
Making fun of other people.
Yeah, and like I'm a big fan of like Jim Carrey. So in that era of Ace Ventura and all that, I was always impersonating him. I was a big fan of like Michael Jackson, so I was always like dancing like him, you know, doing his voice. So just stuff like that. Anything that I would see on TV, it would just take me like a few minutes, and then I would just start doing it.
Whose
You know what I
idea
mean?
was it? Was it Maybelline's? Was it yours?
For
Like doing the
Impersonating?
outfits. Yeah, impersonation outfits.
So impersonating her, I just told her, I was like, listen, I need to start doing what I used to do with my aunts, my mom, my grandma, everybody that was in that room. So I was like, let me do it with you. Also, it's therapy. I can get to talk about what I go through, you know, and as men, you know, the same thing as women get to see, you know, like their side, like, oh my God, I go through that with my husband. You know, I'm the voice for a lot of men and women, not just men, you know what I mean? I get to expose and touch certain areas where men would like, I would never go there because I'll be sleeping on the couch, you know?
No, that's
but
what I'm
I
saying.
do it
takes
in
lot
a
of
funny
guts.
way. Right. I do it in a funny way. And then the thing is too, that when I do it, I'm acting like my wife. I'm not saying, oh, I'm acting like girls in general, or I'm acting like this specific person, because I don't want to touch that where people, feel some type of way. It's more, this is what I'm going through, on a daily basis. So let me put it out there. So, for those that wish they could be like, a lot of people relate to the stuff that I put out in the world.
And you know what, Maybelline, I get really like motivated when I see you, because you're a mom, you're hot, you're still doing like your thing, you always make time for your kids. I see them in the videos sometimes. Okay, two things. How do you keep it together, or do you not keep it together? And like, how do you stay so hot, girl? I need your workout routine. I need your makeup routine. Give me the juice.
Well, big shout out to my mom who's watching this. For the good genes. No, I do not always keep it together, but I'm in a very happy place. Like, I'm happy with my life. I'm happy with my family. I have an amazing husband.
It's the hot husband that keeps her young.
You're not in this question, Christian. Stay out of it. You're not in it. Nobody complimented you right now.
So I think my happiness just kind of like, you can see it through. A lot of people say like, you just look like positive vibes, like,
yeah.
I try to like never be mad for too long, be upset for too long. I just always try to wake up positive on a positive note.
Have you watched Acting Like My Wife when she's mad? Okay.
Damn. Something's not adding up right now. I don't know what it is.
Come on, man.
I'm just positive. So how old are your kids now?
7 and 4.
7 and 4. Okay, so I wanted to ask you, because hopefully I have kids in the future. I wonder, do people at her school? Oh wait, is a 7-year-old a boy or a girl?
They're both girls.
Oh, they're both girls. Okay, so do her friends know that you guys are like on social media, big on social media? Do people at her school watch you guys?
Yes. So we try to keep our lives as private as possible. It's hard.
And it's when we say that, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, but what do you mean you're putting everything out there? Putting comedy, and like our lifestyle, but we're not putting like our relationship, our personal stuff, where we live, and all those things we keep. That's what I mean by keeping private. You know what I mean? We're not going on Facebook and be like, maybe you had today because she don't, we're not doing any of that. And that's what I mean by the private.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like she's come home a few times and said like, oh, some teachers like came up to me and they say that they're big fans and stuff. So I mean, it's cool.
Shout out to all of you that are watching.
The teachers are like this right now.
Yeah, I know.
What?
As long as they keep it respectful, and as long as like they give my kids like the educational environment and keep it at that, and and they're safe, and that's all that I care about. Like, I love when people come up to us and they say hi and they want to give us hugs, and like, we're all about that. Like, that's our favorite part, because it actually like makes everything real, right? Because sometimes you're home making all this content, and then that like you're making a difference, and like you're putting positive stuff out there and for people to enjoy. But it's not until like you actually meet people in person that you're like, oh my God, and you hear them like, I love you guys, like you guys bring so much positivity into my life when I'm sad, and I watch you guys, like you guys make me laugh. So that makes it super real and super like special for us, and that's what motivates. Honestly, it's what motivates us to keep going.
That's the fuel.
Yeah, it hits you on a different level. Like, I know, like as well, when people come up to me, I'm like, oh my God, it's not just numbers on a screen, it's actual people. Like, in the beginning it would hit me hard, and I'm like, oh my God. And even to now, like, it's very exciting. It's a very fulfilling feeling when you see people smile in real life and give you your daps and your what ups, and it's awesome. It is pretty cool. How about like your neighbors and friends? Have they changed? Did you realize some people are now talking to you a little bit longer? The conversations are different with your friends and family. Air it out. Drop some names. Who changed?
Let's see. No, everyone around us has always been super supportive of us, like our friends, our family. Obviously, they're like, I would have never thought that this was going to be you guys, like that you guys would be doing something like this. And it's cool to them. I mean, obviously, there's always people that are weird after, or, like, I don't know. I hate these subjects.
Let's touch the subject with parents.
Okay.
How about that? Finally, my mom has got off my back about getting a real job because
Oh, wait. So you guys are doing this full time?
Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk about that because that in itself is like a crazy story. So we had full-time jobs. I was a medical coder for 11 years before I quit my job to do this full-time. Christian was working as a manager.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, you were gonna tell him that job? Yeah, I was a manager.
What was that?
Well, I thought we were gonna...
He always jokes and says, "What's your job? What was your job?"
Hooters?
In my past
No,
life, I was a male stripper back in the day.
Whoa! What was
No, I'm
that?
just that was the little, the cucaracha, the cucaracha. Yeah.
So yeah, we had like actual careers,
Wait, Christian
And
was the
then when-
manager where?
Yeah, I was a warehouse manager for an
Oh.
energy efficiency company. I used to manage over 35 people a day, so 35 moods, different characters. Imagine, so
Yeah.
busy day for me.
So we started YouTube, and then like maybe a year and a half to 2 years into it, or a year. I don't even
No,
remember.
it was two. So because we started the YouTube 2017, and by 2019 we started our TikTok account, and that's when we made the decision that we needed more time to dedicate to these platforms. And if we were going to really do this full time, we had to take the biggest risk of our life, and it was to say goodbye to our jobs.
Right.
And
I had to convince him because he was not. This was
That
like
was a
the
little fight, too.
scariest thing. Yeah, that was a big fight actually because he did not want to leave his job. He thought I was crazy. I mean, we were making no money on social media when I came up to him and I said we need to quit our jobs. So imagine telling your husband we need to quit our jobs when we're making to do this full time and we're making no money on
how
social
do you tell
media.
your man of the house?
Yeah.
The man of the house that paying the bills and that's pretty much keeping this roof together. Hey, let's quit our jobs and let's do social media.
And then you could do this at night.
I mean, I
No.
could do that any day, but
We were at a point where that was probably going to be the one thing that he had to do because we finally both quit our jobs, and I want to say it was a whole year. We made no revenue, nothing.
it was way more
okay,
than
like
that.
we were living off of our savings. All right.
Oh, wow.
Luckily, we had great jobs that we were able to have a savings, and that savings was actually going to go towards buying our first home. So we used up all
all right,
of our
side moment. I
savings.
don't want to get emotional here.
Yes, it's a crazy story. Like we've
Yeah.
gone through the craziest things, and it wasn't. I'm not even kidding you. We probably had 1,000 to 2 next month's rent to our name before we started making money on social media.
And it was like not,
And it wasn't- I mean, it
I'm
was-
talking about like 500, 1,000.
It was nothing,
and that's for two people, like two employees on a monthly basis. You do the math, you take taxes out. You're not. That's literally nothing as a content creator. That's nothing. So
And
there's a lot of things that like content
went
creators leave out.
Yeah.
And like when I was talking about this, it kind of like sets facts. But it's like we went through a lot.
Yeah.
Coming up. None of this was just like boom handed or like we opened up these platforms and months down the road, like we did YouTube full time. We were working full time. We were parents full time, and we were putting out 2-3 videos a week, maybe more. So vlogging, editing, and then uploading for them to just kind of like just not go
Get 100
anywhere.
views,
right?
honestly.
And we were still doing this because this is what we love doing. We love to spread love and positivity to the world and put comedy out there, share our daily lives and pranks and all this stuff. And then we started doing TikTok. And I was just telling her, I was like, that's crazy. How are we going to get on a kid's platform? Like, how are we supposed to grow there? And said what? We did it. And it was very cringe in the beginning. And then I started like loving it because it was less amount of work that we were putting into comedy. And I was enjoying it more than vlogging. Vlogging was fun, but it was stressful because, especially for her, because she does all the editing.
Oh, wow.
You're piecing all these clips together and you're rewatching it like 100,000 times. And at that point, you're already sick of watching this video over and over and over to make sure that it looks good before we upload it. Then you got to think about captions, hashtags, all this stuff, timing, making sure that you're uploading at the right time so your audience can watch your video. So TikTok it cut all that by like 90%. Like literally you just have fun, upload, and then so be it. If it goes viral, if it gets views, Great, on to the next one.
Yeah.
So we were banging out 5 videos, a day, just uploading, where we were putting 1 or 2 to 3 a week on YouTube. So, if you do the math, it's just no brainer. Let's just focus our time on TikTok.
And then we became...
Yeah, we started growing a little audience, and we were at like 100,000. We hit our first 100,000 like after like a few months, and then we kept going. And then I think by the end of the year, we probably had like, I don't know, 300,000. And then it was the second year, like during the quarantine. That's when we started like
everybody started booming during the quarantine.
Like just getting discovered. They were like, oh my God, where have you guys been our entire lives? Like, you guys are hilarious. Why aren't you guys bigger and all that stuff? And I'm like, well, I'm happy you're here. There's probably 1,000 videos that you can watch now and binge watch. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but everybody knows like YouTube is like one of the hardest platforms to make it on. I remember I started off when I started Instagram, I started YouTube as well at the same time. I started YouTube a little bit later, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start vlogging and doing cooking videos with my mom. And then, dude, after I posted one YouTube video, which I would work 4 days on, one YouTube video, editing it myself, creating the thumbnail, shooting it, all this stuff. I would post it and I'd be drained. And then I'd have to pick myself up and go back to Instagram posting, which is also like a little bit tougher than TikTok. I feel like TikTok is the easiest.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it is really hard work. Like, if you make it on YouTube, that it's like wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to like the story of like us we were completely invested. Like once we started this, like a year or two into it, we didn't care if we weren't making any money. We were completely invested and like in love with what we were doing. We felt like we were exactly where we needed to be. So we were scared that we weren't making money, and something kept telling me like everything's gonna be okay. Just keep pushing. Don't give up.
That was probably the hardest part for me.
Right. And
I would
tell him, I'm like, we can't give up. Like, we started this, we can't give up. Like, people are going to be so upset with us that we gave up. We're going to be upset with ourselves. Like, we quit our jobs to do this because, I mean, at least we could say we did it, right? Like, we didn't want to not say that we didn't try to give it our all.
And during all this process of her, being so positive, where I couldn't see the light. I couldn't see what she was seeing. It was hard for me. It got to the point that we were at our lowest. We were like literally that broke. You know,
and Christian told me like this was once we started, getting our financial stability back and like making our name for ourselves. He told me, remember when you told me like I would go downstairs into the basement and just cry because I couldn't see what you were seeing, but like I just kept. I couldn't.
I literally couldn't. It got to the point that I was like, you know what? I started looking for jobs.
Wow.
I was looking for jobs and everything, and all doors were just being shut. And I'm like I was like, God, please show me the light. Just show me that I'm going in the right direction. Show me that this is what we should be doing. Because as the man in the house, I feel like a failure. I feel like I left my family down. Like I let them all down. Yeah. Like, here we are following our dreams, doing what we love, but that's not, you can't sustain a family. Like you can't keep a roof over your family if there's no income coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we never did this, and we're not doing this for the money. But how are we supposed to pay our bills?
Yeah. Do you think being a content creator is easy or as easy as a 9-to-5?
I've said this multiple times to Maybelline. Sometimes I would rather go back to a 9-to-5. And the reason I say that is because I have a schedule. I have paid time off. I can take a day off work and not have to worry about it because I'm going to get paid for that day. You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Like if there's a time of the month, I can schedule it with time and say, I'm going on vacation in March for a whole week. Not only am I getting paid, but I'm off the clock, not have to stress about work. I can enjoy my vacation. Now, I enjoy what we do. I'm grateful for what we do. I get to stay home, be with my beautiful wife all day. I get to see my kids grow. I get to spend time with them every day. And I get to do what I'm passionate about, which is creating content and spreading laughter and love through our videos. But when you're a content creator, you're not off the clock. You're on go mode 24/7. If you're not constantly doing this, it's an addiction. It's like, it's really bad. You're constantly looking at your analytics. You're looking at your videos. Oh, I fell off because I didn't post yesterday on one of my platforms. We're posting on YouTube. We're posting on TikTok. We're posting on Instagram. We're posting on Facebook. You know what I mean? That's a lot.
Going back to like, obviously not every single thing that we have gone through to get to this point was, talked about in detail, right? But to be in a place where we literally had nothing except the roof over our heads, like to the point like where even like our kids would ask for things, ask for like food or ask for a toy if we went to the store, and we had to say like, you know, like I hate to like get emotional, but
Yeah, I don't want to.
like we not today, baby, you know, like
Yeah.
so to see ourselves and go through that, and we've never ever like before that we were good, right? Like we had jobs, we were living fine. So to get through that,
To
to
get
go
to
through
a
those
go
moments
through
where
a
you're
moment.
loving something so bad and you want it to work, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to make money off of it so that you can do it full time. To be able to see ourselves at like the lowest point that we've ever been, like financially, people ask ourselves like, how have you guys like not given up? It's like, no, because we at the end of the day we go to bed and we think about where we were a year or two ago, and it's like we're never gonna be there again, you know? Like
Yeah.
I don't care what we have to do, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
We're gonna fight our way through this, and like we're gonna continue to make our dreams come true.
It's an experience that molds you to appreciate
Yeah.
all of this and what's coming and
And
what's more to come, because you have to lose it all to gain it all.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
then it's kind of like when you had nothing and you work your way up, you build this work ethic and you have this drive that if you lost it all, like you could get it back.
right.
It's not something that you were like, oh, I went viral one time and that's why I continued. Like there's hard work, there's
Right.
struggle
Right.
behind it.
And I always, always, always am so grateful for our journey of what it took to like get here. And this is the beginning, right? Like we have so many dreams and aspirations for our brand, for Love So Real, right? That's why we named it what we named it. Like we want to truly spread love. Like we want people to feel
Connected.
and feel like happiness is possible, like finding your soulmate is possible.
And we're keeping it real. There's a
Yeah.
reason why we went with Love So Real,
Yeah.
because back in the day, just to bring you back to when we started, we were Maybelline and Christian, but then we changed that to the Golden Family,
And it felt so weird
and it
off.
just didn't feel right. And then things happened, with that when in that journey. And then when we rebranded our name, it took forever, but when we found Love So Real, it just felt right. There's nothing but love that we're putting out and we're putting into this, and we're keeping it real. So we felt like, let's call ourselves Love So Real.
How important is it to make your kids proud? Like, do you feel like, I'm doing something out of the box, I'm doing something different, there's struggle associated with it, some other kids might make fun of it or other parents might take you serious. Like how important is like showing your kids that you can make it outside of like a 9 to 5? How important is that to you?
So we talk about that all the time because
time.
the kids have literally been there with us from the beginning. They've seen the struggles, they were in it with us, they've been in it with us, and even now like they're still there watching us. We're like the only people that they truly have. So we try our best to like always set an example for them and like show them like as long as you work hard and you never give up, like anything is possible. Like if my kid tells me tomorrow that she wants to be, I don't know, a painter, like let's do this, honey.
Let's
like you can do this, like whatever it takes. It's not going to be easy, but
Giving up is not an option. And one of the things that I want to say is, and especially from growing up and having this experience, to all the parents out there, if your child comes up to you with an idea, a vision, anything, support it. Hear them out. You know what I mean? Because I went through so much as a kid that I wasn't like, I wanted to be, fun fact, I wanted to be a police officer growing up, and I wanted to go to college, but I grew up in and I'm not saying every Latin community is like this, but we didn't have those type of finances, and I didn't have that support that I wish I had. So all of that sunk in me that now as a parent, I'm going to be there for my child, for whatever they need, for whatever they want, and support it.
Do you get upset when people are like, oh, you're just doing these ads, you're doing it for the money? Or do you find it that people shame you for making money out of this?
what's crazy is like our fan base I hate to call them fans, like people that truly enjoy our content, our supporters, like they're family to us, right? We don't get like hate the way that we see other people get hate on social media. And I know that it's because we genuinely like do this from our heart and like we love doing this. So it's like reciprocated, you know? Like all the negative people like stay away, you know? And it's like a big giant, obviously we do get hate here and there, but
Yeah.
like we just feel the love. So even when it comes to like our ad videos and stuff, I feel like people know that like that's how we do make our money. And we always say this, like anytime we work with a brand, I want it to feel natural. I want it to feel the same as like our other videos.
Yeah, if it's not organic, we won't do it. You know, like if it's an addy, that I guess if you look at our ad videos, you won't tell that it's like an ad because I try my best not to make it feel addy. You know what I mean? And that's, I feel like that's probably why people don't come after like, oh, you're doing this for this. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. And we do that not only for like our fans to like enjoy the video as like a regular video, also for the brand to feel like, wow, you guys can give us like an authentic version of yourselves.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like crazy. I feel like we get reached out, you know, by brands because of that. Like that's what we're kind of known for, is for it to feel very natural and not too like pushy. We never want to work with a company that we've said no to working with a lot of companies actually that don't give us like creative freedom, because if we can't give you our best work if we don't have creative freedom.
Okay, so I'm interested. So Christian, you're in the basement, you're crying, it's at the lowest point. Maybelline, you're staying so positive and strong because you have, is it more of these dreams? You're a little psychic? You have a little power?
I'm not psychic at all, but
that's what I'm
believe I am a huge, like, I have a lot of faith, you know, like I'm very faithful. Like, I just feel like God is always protecting us no matter what, as a family, as our marriage. So
when she has a vision,
she sticks
you best
to
believe that vision that vision's gonna happen. Like, and you know, positive.
Yeah. I'm a big believer. If you have faith and you think positive, and it's gonna happen. Like, just don't give up. I always tell people that come to us and say, listen, how do you start on social media? I'm like, it's as easy as literally starting and not giving up and just doing it out of pure love and joy. Because if you're not loving it, you're gonna give up.
So then when did things start picking up, and how did you guys know that this was working and you can actually live full time off of social media?
I think it was at the end of the pandemic, right?
At the end of
the pandemic. The crazy lockdowns.
Yeah, we started getting a few like brand deals and stuff like that. And I was always like the finances part, not being able to take bills like we used to when we were, you know, working, paycheck by paycheck, let's call it like that. That security, that job security, that you know that you were going to get a paycheck every week or every 2 weeks. That gave me like that comfort where I was okay. Where doing this, not knowing how much or when was going to be the next paycheck, you know what I mean? So even though she kept saying like, we're going to be good, I couldn't see it. And I was like that for a good solid 2 years.
Wow.
That I couldn't see what she was seeing. And I would pray. I would literally go away where she was not around, you know, like my little alone time, and just cry and just be like, help me see what she sees, because I don't see it.
Yeah.
You know, and we're putting 100% into this, and we love this. And I just want to see what she sees. I want to see the light. I want to know that we're going to be good.
You know what the problem I find with a lot of creators, and myself even starting, like in the beginning, when you want to make this a lifestyle, you get uncomfortable with asking for a certain price of money, like a certain amount of money. Or I remember a company when I first started offered me $150. Now let me tell you, it's not a lot of money for damn sure, but I was excited. I was like, oh my God, for a video that I'm already making videos, blah, blah, but we undercut ourselves and we don't understand our value so much. And I even remember like a few months later, getting a brand deal for $2,000. And I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. Wow. And I was over the moon. And then I had somebody like at the time who was like a mentor to me, like pull me to the side and be like, May, this is chump change. This is like, I've worked with marketing. I've worked on the other side. You are undercutting yourself and you have so much talent. You bring so many, like a lot of creative flavor to this company. This is not like the amount you should be excited about. But I think it's a trial and error thing where you go through it and you don't know. So I'm just wondering, like, how was it in the beginning? What deals you were were starting off with? Was it exciting like mine, or was it like?
So I think our first so we don't have management, all right?
Same.
This is a 2-man show, right?
Same.
We always say like our manager is God because he's the one who always looks out for us. But I think our first biggest brand deal, TikTok was honestly like, I don't know if you remember, they used to have a Discover page where you would see like different like brand deals every day, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I think our biggest brand deal came from that. One of the TikTok reps reached out to us and was like, listen, Nickelodeon wants to work with you guys. And we were like, oh my God.
Like, hello, who
Yeah.
doesn't know what Nickelodeon is?
Yeah.
So we were like jumping off our chairs and honestly, it was a blessing because when we worked with them, they came at us strong, right? And so that's when I was like, all right, every other company that has reached out and I've like said this price to, and they're like, no, like $500. And I'm like, what? Never. How am I supposed to, like,
Yeah.
So once we started getting the big brand deals, we were like, okay, so we're really staying strong to our numbers. Like we're not budging. And to this day, when brands come up to us and they want to work with us, if they don't meet us at our rate or, very relatively close, we know how much work we put into and how much work and love we put into our platform. So we love working with brands that really see that and, value that. Do you want to
like respect the quality of the work that's being put into all of this. I mean, I feel like a lot of creators lowball themselves.
Right. And that makes it hard.
It makes it harder for people that are, make this a business that, we take this serious. We're here for the long run. We're very professional at what we do because it's just not that quick money, just gonna go away. And if you do it, based on that number and not really break your finances down, like, okay, I have to pay taxes on this, or how many creators are going to be in that that video, and then it's all work. Like I'm the cameraman for a few shots, and then she's the camera person now.
Yeah.
And then there's the actor, there's the editor, then you got to piece everything together. Then, like she said, we don't have a manager, so now we're sending emails back and forth. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
When you send emails, do you guys act like it's you, or do you act like it's somebody else?
No.
What?
We act like we're us. And
it's
you know
us.
what? I always tell Christian, I'm like,
What?
honestly, I think as scary as it is, I think it's to our advantage because brands want to feel like they're actually talking to the creators.
They want to be connected with you.
I don't know. It's crazy. It works for us because
I think being in the
new.
business back in the day, like, like I said, managing and doing purchases and working with like vendors and doing emails, sending emails to like the CEO and like all these other reps outside of the company, helped me build up to be able to speak to these, these companies that we work with.
Yeah.
Also, her professionalism working at a hospital and cleaning up all my bad words and stuff like, she'll put in nice writing, and then we put both of our knowledge together, and that's where we come up with like, these rates and how we're going to work and what we can and can't do, and it's more like, in other words, like we know our worth. If you're not going to respect my quality of work, then we're not going to work with you. We're just not going to, because the number one thing that I hate is when they use the whole other creators are charging this. Well, I'm not other creators.
Yeah.
You came to us for a reason. You came to this platform for a reason. This is the reason why they continue to coming back, is because of how they like dealing with us on a one-on-one basis, and how professional we are, and that we do exactly what we're gonna do. Say we do. Here we go.
I love how
we do exactly what we say we're gonna do, and we do it, and we kind of kill it.
We do it well.
Throw it out of the park.
Really well. Yeah, and I love how your attitude and your confidence is coming out, because now you're like,
that's Maybelline 2.0.
He goes, I was crying in the basement. If you don't like what we offer here, you could go somewhere else. Like, I love this switch.
And the thing is, like, we're never afraid to lose a deal, because you know what? I look at it this way: a better deal is coming right after that, and it always does. Like, thank God, it always does.
We've said no to a lot of big companies. We've said no a lot of times. And people will, if we ever share that, people will be like, "You're crazy. Why would you say?" People say, look at it as like, "Why would you say no to money?" But no, it's not just the money. You got to look at it in the long run. People are paying attention. This is the reason why a lot of these brands continue coming back and they work with you. There's a reason why you're working with these companies and you're working at this stage to then get to the next stage. So if me as a brand come to your page and I see that you've worked with this company, I may not want to work with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you did it for the money at that moment and you're not looking at for the future, then that's where you're hurting yourself.
First of all, I don't think there's value in somebody who advertises for everybody. That's probably what you're saying, because that is crazy. That means you're saying yes to everybody. So what's the value in that? And plus, people don't like seeing that nonstop. Like, that just means you're not authentic. But I want to say like two things. First of all, I think it's crazy that you guys email as yourselves, because I remember like when I first started, I got advice from this really big creator who's like, yo, never send an email as yourself. Send it from make a management email at Gmail. I had a management at Gmail, and I would talk like a third person. And I feel like, I know it works for you guys, but for me, I had another sense of confidence, and I would even push it more, because I was like, it's not me. It wasn't my fault.
Right.
Like, I would just be like, oh, or like, you know how people ask you things in person? They're like, hey, can you do this for me? And it's just, I'd be like, oh, I would love to accept under management. Can you please email? And then I'd be like an hour later answering, like,
Girl, that's exhausting.
No, but it helps you. It helps you avoid a lot of situations, because people don't have to
I get it.
label you as evil, or like, or, you know, when you ask for what you deserve and somebody's managing you, it gives you another level of like, you know, fake it till you make it kind of layer.
Right.
And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't reflect on you per se. It's on your management. I don't know.
I completely get where you're coming from. We've had people say that to us. We just
don't care.
I guess what works for us, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But like, honestly, truly, there's gonna come a time, and when we've had so many management companies reach out to us, like Zoom calls, wanting us to work. Well, they want to work for us. It's just, until it feels right with someone, it'll never happen. Like, when you build your own brand from the bottom up, and it's your baby, and then someone wants to just come and they look at that 20% number, it's like, no, it's so much more than that for us. Like, you have to feel like family. You have to like if you can do things that I can't do on top of all the other things that I need from you, then okay, now we can talk. But we haven't found like a genuine person.
You gotta be crazy. For us, for Maybelline and Christian, for Love So Real, whoever we ever decide to go with for management, just as much as we're not like a dollar sign. We're not a client. Like, I want, like, if we grow, when we make it to the top, I want you to make it to the top. I want your management company to make it to the top. I want to make sure that I can get you as many creators as possible so you can level up. And even if we don't level up, I want you to level up, because that's how I generally feel. Like, that warms my heart. That's why, like, I do this because I enjoy it, and I enjoy making other people happy.
Yeah. I love that you guys represent comedy, but also a business, because it's not, I think, okay, if it's a hobby, cool, you make people laugh. But when you create a brand and a business, and it's pumping out income, and it's like, it fits in your lifestyle, it just shows like you could do anything inside or outside of the box that fits your life. It doesn't have to be content creation, but I love to show people like different careers that people are doing, and show that it's okay. Like, you know, because this is new. Like, social media and it being a full-time job is a relatively new career.
Right.
Mom, did you hear that? This is a full-time job. You can stop telling me to go back to work.
My mom too.
Thank
Mama, you. Mama, are you listening? Mama? Mama fat? You see that?
Are you there?
Yeah, I hope you're listening. But, you know, I just want to say one more thing, because I really get very passionate about this, because companies will know that creators are inexperienced in this and try to squeeze out as much as they can from people who don't know any better. And when it comes to standing your ground, I love that you guys know your worth. But in general, I like to say, like, if they're offering you a coupon code and you have to make 7 videos, that is not a good deal. And also, like you said, like, I've had big companies hit me up, and they will be like, hey, we need you to fly out and promote this. And then, you know, you'll have the connection or the name of it tied to you. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm not gonna go fly out, like, pick my bags up, fly out, work for you guys, and then, you know, have like that doesn't pay my bills. Like, you know what I mean?
And they want you to pay for your flight, pay for your stay, and do all that. Like,
no, but also just beyond that, let's say they do cover my flight and my hotel. Okay, and then I have to advertise your product or your thing, and you make money off of me pushing in mad work, and I don't get compensated. I just think it's really unique field to be in, for it to be acceptable or okay for a lot of people not to compensate you for your work or your time. Whereas
Yeah.
anywhere else, like any other job, if you're like, okay, I'm coming to fix this, okay, I'll pay you. You know what? I'll shout you out.
Right.
Right.
Or,
No, no, no.
or you know what? When you hit this level in 5 years, if this house that I built for you is still up, I'll give you a commission. Or like, you know how they set up with these weird deals?
Yeah, right. It's crazy like how some, I want to say some because not everyone is like that, but some brands try to play you. you
It's
know?
true.
I also blame it on, I hate to say this, but other creators that really don't, that settle for like the numbers that they're given. Like when my friends that are creators come up to us and they say like, what's your number? Or, you know, like, should I be asking for this much? Or I asked for this much. I'm like, girl, double, triple, quadruple that. Like, what are
What's
you
the worst that's
doing?
gonna happen? They're gonna say no, and they're gonna come down. But at least they can meet you at the number that you're okay with, rather than
Yeah.
going with the number that it's not okay.
Okay.
And like
can
I said, it's not even about the money. It's about like the amount of work that you truly put into this. This isn't like you just get up, you press a button, and it's done. Like some people make it seem like, well, I guess it's like a stereotype, right? With creators that it's like easy, right? They just stand in front of a camera, look cute, and then that's it. They're millionaires. They have Ferraris. They
It's
have,
not like that though.
and I don't know if it's like our fault as creators, like for not showing sometimes all of it, you know, because that would be exhausting too. If
It would be exhausting, but you know, like I always tell Maybelline, I always want to when we come back on YouTube with a vlog, I want to detail by detail how we came up from when we started 2017 and where we are today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of tears, a lot,
and there
a
still
lot
is.
that went
There
up.
still is. Like sometimes sometimes like we think like we need to be up here, and then we don't. Then we really sit down and we're like, wait a minute. 6 months ago, a year ago, this is where we were. Like, we have to be proud of ourselves for how far we've made it.
Yeah.
Just like the two of us, you know?
Yeah. But that's what happens when you're in work mode. Like I remember also like putting my all every single day and then being frustrated that the results weren't as big as I wanted. But then you're like, yo, you need to sit down and like I would take like 4-day breaks. And I don't know if you
Right.
have the same creator's guilt when you take like 3-4 days off of posting. I'm like, oh my
Yes.
God, I fell off.
I know,
I'm dying.
yeah.
The
You
whole
feel
brand
guilty,
is
but you know what? We also don't. As creators, we don't do a good job taking care of ourselves.
True.
Taking care of our mental health and taking care of other things that actually matter. You know, we get caught up in this lifestyle of like 7 days a week where, you know, because we don't punch in and punch out. We're always on the clock. You know,
Yeah.
you wake up as a creator, you wake up and everything gets posted, or
You go
everything
on
is a
vacation,
vlog.
the
You know?
vacation has
The
to be
vacation can't even be
posted.
like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna put my phone down and enjoy the vacation. Like it's never that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you don't post, you feel like you're falling off.
Dude, I remember
Yeah.
I was on my honeymoon and I was posting videos on my honeymoon, and even people were commenting like, damn, don't you want to take a few days off? I'm like, I'm not dead. I'm still here. Like, I don't know. I
Right.
had something to prove. Like, I was just so
Right.
motivated, but that's something that never dies. Like,
Right.
there'll be celebrations and you just like, you're like trying to piece together content that will make your audience happy, but it does come with the other side of like, yo, take care of yourself, like calm down. It's not that serious. I remember
Right.
I call my family sometimes having breakdowns like, dude, I have no ideas right now, I don't know what to do. And like there's a lot of pressure of like always like maintaining that level of like content and pushing out stuff. So you thought it was your therapy session. This is my therapy session.
There we go.
We're going through therapy together.
We're both, yeah. This is a in and out. This is a two-way street right now. All right,
And
I'm
that's why
gonna.
we're one big family.
Yeah, I'm gonna lighten the mood. Okay, so who is a good cook between you two?
Hands down, Christian. I'm not even gonna try to
Come
take
on.
that from
You're
you.
saying that so you don't have to cook. Why did you bring that up? I know why you, but it's a trick question.
I didn't know. I had no idea. I don't watch the
Ladies.
videos.
Ladies, hype up your man. Even if he's making like a ham and cheese sandwich, tell him it's the best ham and cheese sandwich he ever made in his life. So hello.
That's
So
a
you
good
don't have to be in the
trick.
kitchen.
That's a good trick.
No,
Dude,
but honestly, Christian is an amazing cook. Like he
Amazing.
chefs it up. The thing is, like he enjoys cooking, where I feel like I have to do it because I have to like keep everyone alive in the house. So like I have to feed everyone, you know?
Yeah. Dude, I came from
I
a
just
household.
like to be a good host. That's it.
Yeah. Because that's the easiest job.
Right.
I came from a household where my mom was always cooking in the kitchen. I just would come from outside and sit down and eat. And so when I moved into my own house and I went grocery shopping, I was shell shocked. I was like, what the heck? Where do I start? I'm like, I'm picking up random vegetables that would go sour in a few days because I don't use it. And like,
Right.
it is different to have to like, and then I have to cook for like my husband versus just me. Like me, I'll just put some spaghetti and like, you know, put some salsa and we're done, you know?
You're like, damn, now I gotta make it look more gourmet. Like, how do I
Yeah.
make this look gourmet like I tried?
Yeah. How do I not burn down the house is what I was thinking.
Speaking of that, what are you cooking today?
That was really my next question. That was really my next question. And what's your favorite thing to cook, Christian?
Christian's known for his chicken wings. Like, we always say
What?
that we'd love to do like meet and greets and not call them like really meet and greets, more like barbecue, like hangouts where Christian's like chefing it up.
Throwing down.
Yeah.
I like to cook. I'll cook anything, because I like to try. And I also, anything I cook, since I'm super OCD, everything has to be a certain way. And the plating,
Wow.
the taste, like everything has to like pair well with each other.
He
like
makes
I
the
can't.
biggest mess when he cooks. Like every single dish.
But if you're not a good cook doesn't make a mess. Like that's part of it.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like you have to have everything, and that's one thing. When I'm in the kitchen, I don't want anybody in the kitchen.
Have
You
you
get
seen
out. If you're not
Ratatouille?
cooking, get out.
Have you seen Ratatouille?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious. That's the only
And then
reference.
he walks away from the scene. Like he cooks and then he walks away. And then I'm like looking at the
I'm
kitchen.
done.
Like,
I dropped the spoon. Like, what else do you want me to do?
but I can't complain because guess what?
You're happy.
Then he wouldn't cook.
The
Then I
food is
won't cook.
good. Wait, so Christian has mentioned your mom a few times, like not really understanding social media
My
as a
mom.
career. Yeah, your mom.
Yeah.
How did your family react to it, Maybelline?
So my mom and my dad thought I was a little like
Off.
going stir crazy. I don't know if they thought I was going through like a midlife crisis or something because they're like, my daughter doesn't even speak. Like she's so shy. Like, are you sure this is what you like
Wow.
to do?
Facts.
Right? I mean, they were supportive because, of course, you know, you want to support your kids and whatever they want to do. But I think, like, behind the scenes, like, they would go to bed at night and be like, how are we going to tell Maybelline, like, that she needs to, like, go back to what she was doing? So I'm sure that happened, but they're super cool. Like, they've been there since day one for us.
It's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna play a quick game with you guys. This is called rapid fire questions. I'm gonna ask you guys both questions, and you can't even think about the answer. You just say the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Can I take a sip of water?
Yeah, take a sip of water.
Hold on. Testing.
Okay.
Okay. Describe your style in one word.
Fire.
Fun.
What is your hidden talent?
Voices.
Oh, my God.
Your hidden talents. Oh my God.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
pretty
yeah,
good.
guys, this is supposed to be fast.
Yeah. I
This is
said
supposed to be
mine.
fast.
Memorizing things.
Okay, money or happidness?
Happiness.
Okay, cats or dogs?
wait.
Dogs.
I'm sorry. Did you see her face? And I know.
Wait, I didn't. Can we
Can we reverse this question to you once we're done, please?
Money or happiness?
And I want to know why.
Money or happiness? Let me tell you, both are tied into me. So I will. Money equals happiness for
The question was money or happiness.
me. Hey, beautiful. Hey.
Lex, say hi.
For me, money is happiness. So I'll say money. Moving along. I will be crying on a private jet, and that's okay with me. That's okay. I don't mind. Summer or winter?
Summer all day.
Oh wow. Okay.
We left the winter so we could live in summer.
Okay. Would you rather fly or have super strength?
Super strength.
Stop copying me.
It's like I'm asking one person the question, anyways. Okay. Do you have your own Netflix account or do you use somebody else's?
somebody else's.
Whose? My dad's, right? Oh, sorry, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. And I know one of my cousins lets me use his Netflix too. So why pay for it when someone else can?
It's okay. Cheap people like I use my husband's account, so we have two cheap people. I use my husband.
Hey, the cheap people stay rich. Right?
That's true.
Christian's middle name should be cheap.
Woo! 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 Okay. Did you guys believe in the tooth fairy when you guys were younger?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. And what is your biggest flaw? You can't think. You guys can't think. You guys are thinking too much. You guys are thinking too much.
I cry sometimes when I'm mad. I don't know. I couldn't. I can't think of one.
Oh, you're waiting on me?
Kristen's like, I'm flawless. I'm flawless. It's the quietest I've heard you.
My biggest flaw is that I can't believe in myself, or
Okay, is your bed made right now?
Yes.
Yes, thanks to my wife.
Thank you.
Thanks to my wife.
Okay, and the last question is, do you guys speak more than one language? Which is
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
Sí.
Sí,
Spanish.
Espanol?
I speak a little bit of Portuguese.
Okay, I speak a little bit of Espanol as well. Maybe you guys can tell me how good my Spanish is.
Go for it.
Hola, yo quiero una cup of café en la mañana.
Okay, that was actually really good. Like I understood that.
Una. Let's change uno to una.
I didn't ask for corrections. I just said, no, thank you.
Sorry.
What would you rate it?
We'll be back.
I'm going to give it a 9.
What?
I understood.
It's not about understanding.
What is in la mañana? I didn't even know what that was. I think
in the
was...
morning.
Oh, okay.
In the morning.
What's yesterday?
Ayer.
Ayer. Okay, I thought I said.
Look at you speaking Spanish.
Christian says that I can't speak Spanish.
Where's our Espanol content? From Latinos. Cool. I know you guys are waiting for that Spanish content.
Yeah. Are you guys good at dancing? Well, I'm sure, Christian, from your past life, you said you are. Maybelline, are you good at dancing?
That was a joke.
I am the worst. I always compare myself. You know how like Kim Kardashian always says like she can't dance?
Yeah.
Literally, I can't dance.
But I've seen some.
She can dance.
Just
like she says she can't cook.
I say I can't dance so that I don't have to dance.
So that the expectations are low.
No, but Maybelline 2.0 can twerk, so...
Yeah.
She's a mean twerker right there.
Dude, Maybelline 2.0 has a better figure than me. I'd be like, after I see Maybelline, I'm like, let me do some Pilates. You know? Oh my God. Oh my God.
We always talk about that. We need to start selling butt pads.
Dude.
I
think it's kind of sad the amount of DMs that I get. It's like, what do you do? Where can I buy it? Why aren't you selling them? I'm like, what are you guys trying to do here? Stop.
We'd make a killing off
catfish.
We'd make a killing off butt pads.
I think if you guys have like a signature logo on a butt pad, selling out immediately. Okay. And you know that amount
if anybody is watching this that can help us execute this.
You know the amount of skits you guys can do with those butt pads?
Right.
You know the amount of lives that we would change?
Do you ever, Maybelline,
no more long ass days.
Do you ever get jealous when he gets hit on, and vice versa? Do you ever get jealous when she gets hit on?
No, because I know he's like beautiful.
Aww.
It's a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband said if people aren't looking, that means that your wife isn't hot.
Right.
Listen, at the end of the day, she's coming home with me.
Hey.
Just like at the end of the day, I'm going home with her.
Oh,
I ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so I love wrapping these podcasts up with having somebody share a piece of advice they want for anybody who's starting or anybody who's struggling in life, who's looking up to you right now. Do you have a message for them?
I think as long as you're happy in what you do, then you're doing something right. And no matter what, like the roadblocks, there's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be doors that close, and you just got to keep going. Like if it's truly what you believe in and it's your passion, do not stop.
There's always light at the end of the tunnel. So keep doing what you're doing.
And be consistent. I feel like consistency is key. Not giving up on yourself, as well as taking the time to like breathe and like see what you're doing from like afar.
Be patient. Patient is key.
Oh yeah, patience. I mean, we could sit here all day and talk about.
No, literally, there's so much we can say.
Yeah, we've gone through so much, and like to get to where we are today, that it's not easy. Like,
Right.
I wish we could sit here and say that it's easy, but it's worth it. Like, if you love what you do and this is your passion, no matter what obstacles you go through, it's always gonna be worth it.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
Just
I
don't
wanna
believe
start-
everything you see on the internet.
You guys
know
are
what I
so
mean?
cute that I want to start an argument with my man and just be like, why aren't you being cute right now? Like, he has no idea I'm about to hit him with some heat because y'all are so cute.
Thank you.
That's just how I do it, you know, the drama side of me. But
Right, we love that.
thank you guys. I want to thank you guys so much for hopping on the podcast. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
I'm
having
so
us.
Thank you for
honored.
having us.
For real, this was awesome. And for everybody watching, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Maze Vault podcast. We love you. And you guys have to check out Maybelline and Christian Love Surreal. I'm going to put their @ below. Check them out and you're going to just fall in love. It's natural. And till next time, bye everybody.
Thank you guys so
Thank you.
much.
Bye.
We love you guys.
We love you guys.
Thank you.